I moved into this apartment a year ago. It's nothing fancy, just a 2-bedroom place in an old building with creaky floors and thin walls. My roommate, Ray, has been living here for 5 years. He's about 40, has no family, and spends most nights out drinking or partying. We don't talk much, it's a convenient arrangement. One night, I woke up around 2 a.m., throat dry as hell. Dragging myself out of bed, I shuffled to the kitchen for some water. That's when I noticed it. At the end of the hallway, where there should have been just an empty wall, stood a door. I stopped in my tracks, heart hammering. That door wasn't there before. It looked old, like it had been there for decades. Wood dark with age, brass doorknob tarnished, a small keyhole just beneath it. The weirdest part? The air around it felt warm. At first, I thought maybe Ray had done some weird renovation I wasn't aware of. Maybe I was half asleep, imagining things. But as I stood there, I realized something was off. The warmth turned into heat, not just a slight temperature change, like standing too close to an open oven. Then the smell hit me. Burning wood. No, burning flesh. Before I could react, smoke started seeping from the keyhole. Thin, dark tendrils curling into the hallway. More of it leaked from the spaces around the doorframe, and with it came a sound, low at first, then rising. A woman, screaming, not just screaming, wailing. A horrible, agonized shriek, like she was being burned alive right behind that door. I stumbled backward, nearly dropping my glass. Every instinct told me to run, to get out of there. But I didn't. Instead, like an idiot, I reached for the doorknob. It was burning hot. I yelped, pulling my hand back just as a voice, low, rasping, and filled with venom, whispered from the other side. "You will all burn for your sins." Something pounded against the door from the inside, once, twice, then again. That was it. I bolted, sprinting out of the apartment and straight to my car, gasping for air like I had just escaped a burning building. I sat there shaking for almost an hour. I must have looked insane. Parked down the street, gripping the steering wheel with white knuckles. I kept staring at my apartment building, expecting to see flames or hear sirens, but nothing happened. Then, flashing lights filled my vision, red and blue. The cops had arrived. 2 officers stepped out of their car, scanning the area before approaching. Seeing them, I got out of my car and started walking toward them. But before I could reach them, one of my neighbors stepped out of the building and began talking to them. One of the cops, a woman with tired eyes and a skeptical expression, turned to me. "You the one screaming?" I nodded, still trying to catch my breath. She sighed. "Your neighbor called us, said there was a man outside screaming bloody murder at 3 a.m. I swallowed hard, forcing myself to speak. I saw something in my apartment." The officers exchanged a glance. The second cop, a taller guy with a bored expression, crossed his arms. "You sure?" "Yes," I snapped. "I swear, there. My voice faltered before I could finish. "My apartment. It was on fire." I cut myself off. I needed them to see it themselves before the fire spread to the whole building. The first officer pinched the bridge of her nose. "All right, let's check it out." A lump formed in my throat as I followed them inside. The walk down the hallway felt longer than usual. My pulse pounded in my ears. We reached my apartment. I stopped at the entrance, letting the cops go in first. And then, nothing. The wall was normal, no door. I blinked rapidly, my brain scrambling to process it. It was right there. I told them everything, every single thing I had witnessed. The officers stepped past me, sweeping their flashlights over the wall. The taller one knocked on it. Solid drywall, no hidden compartment, no sign of anything unusual. They even searched further, every corner of the apartment. The closets, the bathroom, the kitchen. It felt like they were looking for drugs or something, probably thinking I was high. "Look, sir," the cop said, turning to me. "There's nothing here." But I saw. The woman held up a hand. "Listen, you had a bad night. Maybe a nightmare, maybe something else. But there's nothing here now, and we've got real emergencies to deal with. Try to get some sleep." That was it. No further questions, no report, just a warning to not freak out the neighbors again. I stood there, watching them leave, feeling a mix of relief and frustration. The next morning I asked Ray about it. He just laughed. Dude, you need a psychiatrist. That was a month ago. Since then, I don't leave my room at night, not even to get water, not even to pee. Because sometimes when I'm lying in bed in the dark, I swear I can still hear the crackling sound like something is burning. And worse, some nights when the apartment is dead silent, I hear her whispering,